Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap. Between
the onset of fall weather, Coach, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Tennessee Titans and the San Francisco 49ers. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. This is caught, the tight end Cameron. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 17 carries, 65 yards. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. Wide open receiver, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 34-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this
blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He can run for it, and he will. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 17-yard line.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And a look now at the defensive starters for San Francisco.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
On 2nd down, it's Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now Hood. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Murray throwing on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's McKinney.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Mixon with a first down carry. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The numbers for Mixon last week, 11 carries, 51 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check. Watch 54. So we got man.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
This throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and goal, Murray, he'll buy some time right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. This Titan defense, they just will not give in easily. Looking for another stop, 3rd and goal. Murray now, 3rd and goal. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 3 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And it's caught by the tight end Cameron. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray, and his throw's going to be incomplete. J.C. Jackson there defensively to knock it away. The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Murray. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think
Titans coming hard, and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans have taken the lead.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And now running right through it. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because
Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, it's complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will take over at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw is Murray. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Murray now, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Murray now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that is going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
It's now 3rd and 8.
Play action. Now it's Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here's Murray, eluding the pressure right. Now this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that
rush coming, and he's taken down. Uchenna Nwosu in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Ito Smith, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some clout.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the return will stop right around the 25. And he made
guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But you playing the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit. They do go for it. It's Murray. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired, and hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Uchenna Nwosu in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Murray now to throw. Flushed out right. He finds his running back, Mixon. call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Murray now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now the throw pulled in by Anderson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And it's complete to Mitchell. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here we go.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
65.
On 2nd and 15 now. Mahomes, blitz coming, and down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So now the Niners trailing 17-10. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. The drive starts with a completion left side. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. He's back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Back to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mixon. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, 1-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick 6.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost him.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Throwing now is Murray. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, Offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give, how much blood